Just in case you want to know, this presentation is really not about Dr. King as much as it is you. Up in the left corner, you see WTA, that's you. And what I'm using Dr. King for to get the message over. And we listen to his messages all the time. But during this time of year on his celebration of his birthday, we now I'm trying to make something for you to think about some of the sermons that he preached. I don't know if you know all the sermons, but many persons like him and all throughout America, the preachers are talking about building you up. They want you to be better. We want you to be better. I'm not a preacher, but I am a student of God's word for over 40 years, and I want you to know that what we're going to be talking about here is WTA. WTA stands for Wealth Transfer Alliance. There are $84.4 trillion that are about to be transferred to you for the next 20 years. You're entitled to a part of that 84.4 trillion. And what this is about is you. And don't want you to get excited about the pictures that you see, because it's not about that. It's about you. Now look right here. I want you to know this. Here is a celebration. And yes, $84.4 trillion will be transferred. That word will be transferred. And each of us must share in it. Each of us must share part of that 84.4 trillion. This is a celebration, as you can see, for Dr. King. And what Dr. King would have wanted us to do is to follow his teaching about this wealth transfer. There is a professor giving us this information about wealth transfer, a black professor. And what he's telling you and I is all we need to do is get up out of our seat and take a little initiative and share in this process. You know, I've been black all my life, and I know that there's other persons that come to this country that have more than I. There are other country people that in this country that brought my poor parents here and made a living off of and got wealthy off of the blood, sweat, and tears of my forefathers. Now we have an opportunity to share ourselves. All we got to do is take a little initiative, and I'm going to do what I can in this presentation together. Now look here, we're talking about a revocable living trust. This guy here has $4 billion. See, he was the elect at that time, but he transferred enough of the 115 million shares, and he on paper it's worth 4 billion. On paper now, not in the bank. On paper, it's going to get there. Just want you to hear what I'm talking about. It's not in his hand, but it's possible for you to put it in your hand. This is not about him. It's about the down at the bottom, the red Wealth Transfer Alliance Advocate enrollment. You need to enroll in order for you to take advantage of the opportunity. If you sit on your hand and you don't enroll, you won't have a revocable living trust. A revocable trust. It's and I want to show each of you who are watching this presentation what you need to do to put into your trust so you can go on. I'm going to introduce myself in a minute and you will see what I'm talking about, but I just want you to know the total subject of this whole presentation is about wealth transfer. And you can transfer your wealth once you transition home with the Lord. You're going to leave whatever you have, and the only thing possibly that you're going to take with you that's of anything is the dirt in your fingernails, because it doesn't really matter. It's going to even turn back to the dirt that it is. So all we're talking about in this process is you having your own revocable living. Hear that word living? Trust. That's what we're talking about. I'm moving on, take too much time. Now, here are some persons that didn't set up their revocable living trust. You can read all the information on the screen, but I want you to see, for those who don't know, and I may not know, who I don't know the age, if you're 18 or 19 years old and you're watching this, you probably don't know any of these persons that you see. But you now at that age should set up your own trust. See, you're not too young to set up a trust, but you can get too old to set up a trust, because if you get too old or you transition home with the Lord and you don't have a trust, then you're going to lose. And and I'm just stop murmuring. Marilyn Monroe, 36 years old, left $370,000 in the probate court. And what we're talking about here, and read in the red writing, 6 mistakes made and left $18.0 billion in the probate court. That's how rich the court is. Listen to the probate court and how many people There are in this country we call America that has transitioned to the Lord that didn't have a means to get their wealth to their offspring or their loved ones. What we're talking about here is we having a revocable living trust. Look at Doris Dukes, 1.3 billion went to the probate court. Look at James Brown, who's now been dead. He's 73 years old when he died, and he's been dead for a few years, right? Okay, James Brown left $100 million in the probate court, and the probate court is still putting money in their pocket from James Brown because James Brown had some assets, radio stations and things like that, that are still producing income, and that income is going into his estate, but his estate is in probate court, and the probate court is getting richer and richer and richer. You see, the probate court is like a mosquito. They just sit there and suck off of you and your estate. You're not transitioned to the Lord, but the probate court has set up a probation on your estate, and the probation officer court keeps sucking money out of your estate. That's what we're talking about in this whole presentation. It's for you to avoid paying state probate court costs, because your state's probate court is taking your loved one's money, whoever going to transition. That could be you or even you can transition and go to the Lord, and everything that you have going to be in the probate court, and that court is going to extract money out of your process. We're going to show you this in a minute. We won't go on with this, but we're talking about, look at the Supreme Court judge up, 1.8 million. Now, Warren Burger was a Supreme Court judge, but he still didn't have the wherewithal to set up a revocable trust. So he left $1.8 billion in the probate court. Look at Jimmy Henry, 27-year-old young fellow, $80 million. And he probably still getting royalties off of some of the things that he's done, because in the music industry, the whole world is your stage. You know, you make an album here in America, but it's sold all over the world. That's why you have so many rich persons that have made albums of songs, and they're still making a royalty off of those songs. Okay, but he left $80 million in the probate court. Look at that lady Helmsley. Now, I studied this lady real hard when I was in college. This person here left $5 billion in the probate court. I'm going to move on because I'm taking up too much time. But this process here, you can see how easy it is for you to do it on your telephone. But we're talking about wealth transfer allowance technology. The technology is what we're really trying to get you to comprehend. Technology. Or you can, software. Let's call it something that you may relate to. Software. Software is a form of technology. You know, AI is here. AI is a form of technology. Now they're arguing over AI. And I'm going to move on because I really do get the murmuring and get excited about things like, well, look at here. Here's what we're talking about, the revocable living trust. Get the facts. These are the facts. Stop this data. This is a video, as you can see. And you read these data and get an understanding. God said, above all, get an understanding. Read these data so you can see why you want to have your own revocable living trust. Yep, your own will. Everybody talked to a gentleman last night, a young fellow. I said, you set up your, he said, I have a will, but your will go to court. You have to, once you transition with the Lord, and whatever you have in your will, you don't know who's going to be handling your will, and it's going to go to the probate court, and the probate court is going to will your will around until it's satisfied with what you have left in your will. And the persons that you named in your will, they have to go through a process. Sit down, say, I'm sorry, I get excited. The assets will be distributed to the beneficiaries named in the will. That's up under the understanding of probate, down at the last sentence. I'm just reading that. It said the assets will be distributed to the beneficiaries named in the will. But if any one of those beneficiaries have a problem, no, they want a little more than that. I deserve more than what he's giving me. That stays in the probate court. So you got an argument now over what's left. And that argument enhances the monies that the probate court and attorneys are going to take out of the estate of the person that has transitioned. And that person left a will. But your will go to probate court. Just make sure you get an understanding of these data. I'm going to move on without taking up too much time because I got a long way to go. But stop this and understand this. And I got my phone number on here if you need to call to get additional information. The advantages of the revocable living trust. The disadvantages of the revocable living trust. Okay, just being honest with the whole process is to show you what you need to know about a revocable living trust. Okay, that's understandable for you to understand what you need to understand. But everybody, including our elect president, has or should have a revocable living trust. Now, probate must be avoided. That's the red at the top. The probate court must be avoided in order for your estate to go to who you want it to go to. In order to do that, you set up your trust. You put your will in your trust. The will goes into the trust because who's the trust? I'm so glad you asked. That'll be you. So now you've transitioned, but you left yourself back of trust, and you're in control of the trust, but you named the person or persons that you want to be executing your trust. You see what I'm saying? So now your trust is not in the probate, and your will is in your trust. And what's in your will is in your will, but your will is in your trust, and your trust happen to be you. You see, now you can't go to probate because you've transitioned. All right. So look at this doable power of an attorney can avoid guardianship. Understand that as well. All these data here is for you to get an understanding. And I'm going to give you more and more as we go. See, this revocable trust save time and money. Well, I'm going to give you more information, but I need for you to stop and get an understanding of it. And you can call and get your questions answered should you have a desire to do so. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. But look, some of the circumstances in revocable trust can be used to avoid creditors. Isn't that amazing? To avoid creditors. So that means that if I transitioned and I left my estate to my family and I had $200 worth of debt, I'd say $150 worth of debt, and that debtor trying to collect, well, I'm going to avoid that creditor because I'm saying you can write that off as a business loss. We're going to show that in a minute. Then I'm going to introduce myself because I am an accountant. Revocable trust, excuse me, I know that's going to ensure privacy. Revocable trust ensures privacy. It's private, and no one can break your privacy. Okay, revocable trust ensures some but not complete privacy because your will, excuse me, your will is in the court. It is in your trust, but you may have to give your will to the court, but the court can't do anything because you have put it into your trust. What is a living trust? I'm not going to try to answer all these questions for you. What is a revocable trust? And what about a revocable living trust? You see that it's talking about the first thing, what is a living trust? That's the living trust. Second one is a revocable trust, okay? And then now we just combine the two. What is a revocable living trust? You see the trust, the living trust, the revocable living trust is all combined on the right side. So the left side is asking you the questions and the right side will give you the answer for both. All right, now look. Here's some data that you want you to understand. And understanding this data here is all about is 4 sources of data, but I'm talking about just one word in these data. And we're going to go through that in a few minutes. What in the Yahoo Finance, the Street, Forbes, and the New York Times are talking about what will be transferred. And it's saying that the $84.4 trillion will be transferred in the next 20 years from 2025, that's the year we're in now, up to the year 2045. The $84.4 trillion, Forbes say, will affect the job market. It will affect the economy. It will be transferred. And if you're in the job market, you'll be affected. If you're in the economy, you will be affected. But if you have your share of the $84.4 trillion, you will have less concern because you will have collected your share of the $84.4 trillion. That doesn't take a rocket science to figure it out, right? Anybody can get that. Okay, we got it. We'll move on. Now I'm getting ready to move out and show you how to go into the process of the technology that I've been talking about to get you into this drafted by experts, estate planning attorneys, software, or technology. This is what we're getting ready to go into now to show you. Now I have to download that PDF to show you how you can get these data yourself. And what you're about to get is America's best comprehensive online estate planning technology. Yep, the documents that you're going to get were written by estate planning attorneys, customized to fit your need. All you need to do is just go into the technology and make it fit your need. What are your needs? You put yourself into your revocable trust. And now it's your needs. Your needs may be different, man. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how our needs, some differs, and everybody needs differ, but I'm going to show you how your needs differ in this America's best comprehensive online estate planning, drafted by expert planning attorneys. So if you say, I'm going to, the gentleman did tell me last night, I have an attorney to set up my trust. Okay, no problem. But you did say attorney, but the attorneys here has already done the work for you, attorney, that you're going to get, and you don't have to pay the attorney what you would have to pay if you didn't have the technology. Here we go. You can do this very easy to avoid paying the probate court or hourly attorney fees to distribute your personal revocable living trust, saving wealth transfer costs. The wealth transfer costs that we're talking about is you giving an attorney something afterwards, but once you now have getting ready to set up this process, you can see the price. Don't get excited about that, because I'm going to show you in a few minutes how the price is a credit, a tax credit. So don't worry about what you see, that lion with the big roar, because he doesn't have any teeth. In 1995, it's the lion with the big roar. It has no teeth because you can finance it. You see at the bottom, yes, you can finance, and the credit card's here to show you that you can put it on a credit card, and you're paying less than $30 a month to have your revocable trust set up, and that $30 is a credit. And we're moving on to show you what you need to do. Now, the information on here at the top, they want to call or visit 1-301-328-4186.com. That is an explanation. Just go there. That's a website. Go to that website. It's going to give you detailed information that I'm not going to have time to give you here, and also the WTA enrollment form. You only want to enroll. You can't do anything if you don't enroll. Go to that website and enroll. You must enroll. If you don't enroll, you're wasting mine and your time. All right, look. Here's something I don't want to go too fast on. This is estate planning cost. Could be anywhere upward to $500. This is something that you would have to pay if you don't get the software, or more. Or more complete estate planning by experienced estate planners, lawyers, often will be up to $350 to $700 per hour. I told you that attorney fees can be very expensive, and that attorney may use 20 or 30 hours a month. And you the multiplying those hours time to cost. And your estate has a value, but every time it goes to the probate, or the probate gets an attorney, the less your wealth be when it's transferred, because the court and the attorneys have used it up. The revocable living trust income only option, the trust options you see, just study these data. The 1995 is what it costs. But don't worry about the cost. It's just a temporary out-of-pocket fee. And your trust is now set up, and all of your assets and everything you want in your trust is now in your trust. And should you transition, you got it. And the longer you live, the better. So if you're a young person, you set your trust up now, you can go into your trust and put things in and take things out. Put things in and take things out. See what I'm saying? It's only when you transition that it becomes very, very important, because there's going to be someone standing there with the authority. I'm talking about the state's probate authority, standing there with authority to put your estate on probation. And it's just like if you go and you do something, and the court don't put you in jail, they just put you on probation for 5 or 10 years. You're on probation. You can't do that anymore, because the court now have you on probation. Or you can go to jail, and you get out of jail, the court will put you on probation. So you have to do this or that according to the court. So your estate is the same way. The court puts your estate on probation. You can avoid that. Make sure you stop these data here and study that for yourself. Having the questions and phone numbers are here for you to call to get it. I'm just trying to avoid the time for spending with you now. We're getting ready to get into the software. We're getting ready to get into the technology. This is the technology introduction. Here's your first step. There are 4 steps for you to have in order for you to control your wealth that's going to be transferred to the 84.4 trillion. This is how you're going to control your share of the 84.4 trillion, by having these data here in your hand. My name is David. You can see at the top it says, welcome to your client center, David. This is your client center, David, and he's the company, Wealth Transfer Alliance. is welcoming me to my software. The first step in my software is the interview. The second step in my software or my technology is a review of your trust, David. The third step is for me to review and sign the documents that I'm going to be signing into my revocable living trust. The fourth step is where I fund my trust. I'm putting my assets into my trust, and my funding kit is also in the fourth step. The final step is where I lock it up and put it into my vault. And anytime I want to make a change, I go into my vault, unlock my vault, and make the change and update whatever I'm going to update in these first four steps and put it back into my vault, lock my vault back up. And then after I transition, my trustee of my estate now can have my codes and everything he or she needs to open up my trust. On the right side, the first thing you see up there, as you see the dot, it says welcome. Well, look at the left side. Up above the software or the technology, you say welcome to your client center, David. What's the reason why you see that on the left side is because I tap that button on the right side, say welcome. So all of the information on the right side is controlled by you. When you tap on your information, you got to put your information in. Then you tap on trust provision, that's you. You click on your children, put your children in there, that's you. Distribution options, you put that in there, that's you. The roles, all these data here is open up on your technology. And you just simply put your personal, whatever you have in there. That's all you're talking about. See how simple it is? Even our 81-year-old can do this. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But anyone can do this. You don't have no computer training or no anything. You can do this on your telephone. You actually can open up your information and do it on your phone. I don't have that speed of my fingers to do that, but you can do it. And I see people doing things on the phone I couldn't do. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on now to review your trust. That's just the next step, right? Review your trust. Third step, but we're on the second step now. This is the second step. Review your trust. You see, welcome to Estate Planning Portfolio for David Richardson. Oh, well, that is my name, isn't it? David Richardson. So this is David Richardson Technology, showing the person who is looking at this video that there's two things here. On the left side, it says cover. Where you see the estate planning portfolio, that's the cover. So that's what I'm on. If I had welcome, I would have had one in the back. If I had the interview, you see the revocable living trust, the certificate of trust, and the last will and testament. Will and testament, last will and the testament, the last will. I told you can put your will in your trust, right? Financial power of attorney, the health care power of attorney, just in case you're sick and you need some special health care. That's in there. You have to give someone power of attorney to do that. The living will, see that will, I told you that will is you put your will in your trust. This is your living will and directives. Okay, then your funding kit. I told you about the funding kit and the document vault, if you're gonna put it there. We're on the second step. But what we're talking about, look at the on the right side. Right side is the same thing. Same thing. You see going down the same thing. Nothing changed. So all you got to do is open up the information. So all we're talking about is put your name where you see my name. Every place you see my name in this presentation, you put your name there because that's you going through your own personal transfer alliance technology. That's you. I'm just showing you how you can do you. This is the third step. Review WTA technology. This is you. And I'm going to talk about you a little while now because this is the estate planning portfolio and just where you sign it at. I put the information here to show you that this is what Wealth Transfer Alliance is doing for you. Now look at the top again. Revocable Living Trust is the centerpiece of your estate planning portfolio. And look at the hand in the hand. This is the elder with a child getting the estate. So this is an example of you giving who you want to be in your estate, what you're going to do to designate that person the right to have your estate when you transition. That's what we're talking about, the revocable living trust, certificate of trust, the living will and testament, the financial power of attorney, the health care power of attorney, the living will advocate, a directive, and the funding kit and the document vault. These are all the things that we're talking about. That's all we're talking about over and over and over again, is showing you how simple this process is and why you should take advantage of it in order for you to take part in the $84.4 trillion transfer, and at the same time position yourself to do things. Now, I'm going to show you some assets in a minute, but this is how you fund your revocable living trust. This is the funding side of it. And down at the bottom on the left side at the bottom, it says click to start each kit. You click to start each kit. Now you're putting your assets into your revocable living trust. And your house can go in, your boat, your cars, and I'm going to show you a list of assets that goes into your trust. These are just to show you from a pictorial process to give you an idea of what to put into your trust. You see on the right side, we got dollar bill money. They put your money into your trust. You don't know how much money you got in the bank, but everything under your bank will be in your trust. And the certificate of your trust is the primary in providing evidence to a transfer agent. Now you see it on them reading on the right side. Make sure you stop all these data and read the small print that you see and get an understanding, because all the small print is doing is giving you an understanding of what you see. And you can edit to interview, you see, generate documents, upload documents. All that's right here for you to do. Uploading the document is real simple. It's a PDF process. That's why I put it up the front to show you this is a PDF process where you upload with a PDF process. And you can download the same way. Okay, your document vault, you put the information in your document vault. I'm moving on. I've got a few more steps to go. Now look, here's your vault. This is step 5. This is really not a step, because this is the final process of you going through your technology or your software, whatever word you want to use. But you're going to upload documents into your vault. This is to give you an idea of what your vault look like, and you can lock your vault. And the only one can open your vault is your password, your usernames, and your codes that they give it to you. But look at the PDFs, the different kinds of ways for you to upload the information. That's what you need to understand too. There's several different ways to upload the information in. And at the bottom, I'm showing you all of the steps in one thing, the Wealth Transfer Allowance technology designed for those who will die, like yours truly will die, and the unborn, my unborn, and that just my son, one of my grandsons just told me yesterday, no, this morning, matter of fact, early this morning, they hear granddad, me and my wife pregnant. I said, oh, well, thank you, Lord. So now my great-grandchild is going to be in my trust. You see what I'm talking about? And not even born, he's still in his mother's womb. She's only 3 months. God, Jesus. She's only 3 months. But when the baby born, granddaddy will transition. But that child will be in my trust. That's what we're talking about. The unborn. Okay, presented by WTA Business Building Advocate, David Richardson. You see my ID number. That's who I am. That's my ID number. And I am an advocate with Wealth Transfer Allowance. And this is my technology that I'm showing you how to get your technology. Now, I'm talking to 3 or 4 women in church Sunday, and one of them have land, and the person has cut off her easement to her land because they want to take her land, but her land should be in her trust. It wouldn't matter about the easement if she had all the information in her trust about her land. It wouldn't matter about the easement. They could put a wall around it. The people build walls, right? She could put a wall around it. She still would have her land. Moving on. Thank you. Okay, now look at here. Oh, that's the same thing. Okay, now, here are the type of assets. You can Google the types of assets and find the type that you use. Okay, cash, tangible assets, and you click the arrow down. It'll give you an understanding of the tangible assets. Go to Google, type in Google search engine types of asset, and then this is what's going to pop up. And then you want to drop down to see the different forms of cash. Look at the tangible assets, different form. All these data is in the types of assets. Just in case you don't know, I am an accountant. You're going to see in a minute. Okay, I have a master's in accounting, set for the CPA. So I am an accountant. Okay, and have been. I'm a tax accountant too. Listen to that. I also have a business law background. So what I'm just trying to tell you is, what I'm telling you is real. All you got to do is what types of real estate you got. Just go to here and click that little arrow. You're going to go to Google Assets, the types of assets, and you're going to hit that little arrow, and all the types of assets, real estate that you have goes into your trust. Equipment, marketable securities. Marketable securities can go into your trust, and that's what the president-elect did. He put his securities into his revocable trust, and his securities in his trust is valued at $4 billion on paper. Listen to what I'm saying. So if he can put his marketable securities in his trust, you can put yours in your trust. That's all we're talking about is you doing the same thing everybody else is doing. Okay, buildings. You can put a building into your trust. That's what is the difference between a building and real estate? You see what I'm talking about? Supplies. What kind of supplies can I put into my trust? Well, let's click that arrow down and see what kind of supplies can go into your trust. Fixed assets. There's a difference between see the tangible assets up there. You see the current assets, and then you see the fixed assets. There's a different kind of assets. All we're talking about is you putting your assets, and I'm showing you how you can go and get the various kinds of assets to put into your trust. Vehicles, copyrights. You got a book, you're writing some books, you got you made you an album, you put an album out, and you got like James Brown, you $100 million worth of albums. Jim Kimmerton, $180-some million worth of albums that he put out, and he's getting royalties off those albums. You put those in your trust, and the copyright, those assets now goes into your trust. Bonds, operating assets. Just think about that. Just put the arrow down and see what kind of you got. Goodwill. Click the arrow and find out what you got. You got in your hand. All you got to do is just exercise it. Now, if you sit on your hands and don't do anything, you don't get anything, because you know that 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 0. Okay, let's multiply. 0 times 0 times 0 equals 0. Oh, let's divide it. 0 divided by 0 divided by 0 is 0. So if I sit on my hands, I got 0. All I gotta do is get up. Get up, God say. Get up. If you sit down, you get down. You stay down. I'm moving. This is a gentleman that's explaining to you what you got and what you can have. If you don't have WTA at the present time, you want to get WTA. Going left, right to left. You start on the right and you go left. You make a comparison between NetLaw and Legacy. NetLaw Legacy has a software, but it doesn't have what WTA has. For one thing, look at the cost at the bottom, what NetLaw will require. $2,500? $2,500? That's $5,000 in it. 3 to 75, that's $5,375. That's what they require you to have, and they don't have, they look at the yeses that we get compared to the yeses what NetLaw have. It's just a comparison. We're not saying nothing negative. We're just comparing what we got with what they got. Look at the trust and wills. Trust and wills. Let's look at the bottom first. See what they got? Required attorney support fees. You got to have an attorney. At NetLaw said no requires attorney services a package of the, oh yes it does, of the $2,500. But look at our cost. We don't have anything because our software, our technology is in your hand. It's yours now. And yours gets a credit. Oh, Jesus Lord. Okay. Visit them and get an understanding, because this is the coach's video. WTAtrainingvideo.us. WTAtrainingvideo.us. Just listen to what he's saying. He's showing you details why you should take advantage of this opportunity, so you don't have to get bogged down with attorney fees or this probate court or things like that. That's all we're talking about. All right, I'm taking up too much of your time. We'll move on. Now here, we're talking about the income tax now. The income tax it require you, if you're self-employed and you are working WTA and doing the things that we'll have, because you're self-employed, you're going to get the beneficiary share of income. Beneficiary share of income, that's at the top, under the bottom, black at the top on the left. Deductions, credits. Hear that word credit. Please hear that word credit, because the only difference between a credit and a deduction is how they're spelled. Because if I'm going to lower my tax liability with a deduction or business expense, I can lower my tax liabilities also with certain credits. So, and etc. and etc. So they can't put them all here because it's more than what could go on this one little line. But an accountant or the tax advisor can show you what you're doing if you don't know how to do this Schedule K1. And it's to see the form that it comes under. And I put that in the red. See, the Schedule K1 comes under the 1041. And down in the red down there, you see the Form 1041, the Form 1065. But each one of those forms carry different schedules and forms up under them, like the 1040. We usually file a 1040. And under 1040 come different forms and schedules. Under the 1065 comes different forms and schedules. Up under the 1041, same difference. All this information may not be for you to get an understanding of because you may have something in tax. I'm just putting it here to sort of support you so you can make a sound decision and not worry about anything because it's all covered in the process. Self-employed, self-employment, corporate benefits, estate planning technology. That's what we're using. Now I'm going to go kind of slow in the next 2 or 3 slides because self-employed persons get benefits that they may not know about as opposed to a corporate employee who's working for a corporation. But the corporation still have benefits. But the technology is what we're going to introduce now. Look, watch this. If you're self-employed and you want to earn a monthly income that will be illustrated here, you can use your own initiative. Because when you join WTA at the WTA enrollmentform.com and you become an advocate or an affiliate, and I'm recommending advocate because an advocate is a business builder. An advocate builds a business, and once you become a partner with WTA as an advocate, this is your monthly income. It's illustrating what your monthly income could be once you become an advocate. I don't know what else you're doing. Don't know what other kind of employment or other incomes you got coming in. But what we're saying here, with just 1,000 per people across the nation who have enrolled up under you, whatever form of advertising you use to get them up under you, you're going to receive these kind of incomes, illustrated income to show you what you're what you're earning per year in addition to what you're already earning. But if you're unemployed, self-employed, employed, it doesn't matter. Whatever you choose to do. If you don't, if I told you I have information for you, you call or visit 1-301-328-4186.com. That is a website. Or you can call 301-328-4186. That's me. What I've done is put my MagicJack number, which is an online phone number. MagicJack is a worldwide phone number. So I put my worldwide phone number into the website so you can get an understanding of the self-employed person in this process. That's all I've done. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get up off your hand and go to work. Okay, now look, the corporate employee benefits. You see it's the same amount. The only difference here is that one of them is an employee and getting employee benefits, and the other one is self-employed. The only difference between the 2 slides is the definition of the employee and the self-employed person. That's the only difference. Everything else is the same. Monthly income, and you can go back and look at it as a monthly income is all the same. All we're trying to do here is to show you how you can earn money with WTA. And once you become a partner and you have partners up under you, the illustrated 13,345, that's just an illustration for you. But if you had 5 or 6 partners that have come and enrolled under you, you just multiply times 5. It's really that simple. Because if one is good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So whatever you make the same, your partner that you told about the process going to make the same, and then you will have a benefit from that partner. Now, life insurance. What is life insurance trust and how to use it? Do you have life insurance? Did you read this data and get an understanding of how your life insurance can be a part of your trust? Yep, and your life insurance could have a huge value, but it's also a part of your trust. Just read that data and get an understanding of it. It's here for you. All you got to do is you get up off your hand and do it. Funding your life insurance trust. Tax implications of life insurance trust. All these that are here. Questions. You got some questions? Read the questions and see if you got different kind of questions. If you do, no problem. I got you the phone number. I've given you the phone number for you to call and get your answer. All you got to do is get them to do it. I keep saying it, but I'm trying to be, I'm being facetious actually, and I should not be. But you notice the arrows on the right side, you click the arrow up, and you'll get more information about show me the life insurance, the best in a trust. You can get more information. And what are the benefits of a life insurance trust? Click that arrow and it go up and it give you more information. What should you do? I mean, what should you not put into your life insurance into a trust? What should you not put why should you not put life insurance in your trust? Read that and get all your understanding. Make sure that you get an understanding. If you don't understand what we're talking about, then all you got to do is call the phone number that we've given you. Now, this is to ask your congressional representative, him or her, about the $84.4 trillion transfer. They know about it. If not, they can get you information about it. You can call your person, whatever state you're in. These persons here represent the Oversight Committee of Government Reform. All you need to do is call either one of them, and it may be more than that. Just go to Google the congressman persons for the Oversight Committee, and these persons here got phone numbers in their office. You can call their office number in Washington, D.C., or you can call their office number in the state that they're in, and they will give you information about the wealth transfer of the 84.4 trillion. And once you get an understanding from them and understanding from WTA, you see now how much understanding you gather, and then all you got to do is just do it. My income tax video is a video explaining to you how wealth transfer allowance is working. That's what that phone number, that's what that URL is for. My income tax video, because it's going to affect your income tax. It's going to affect you because you're going to have more money coming in. You don't want to know how to make sure that you report it properly so that the authorities won't have no reason to come to see you unless you just invite them to dinner. Okay, the phone number 301-328-4186. That's my phone number. You can call me on that phone number for the answer. If I don't have the answer, I'll get the answer for you and get back to you to get your answer and your question answered. That's really all we're talking about, is trying to put understanding on the table. And I'm going to end this. When I end this, I'm going to show you something that's anyway, I'm going to move on. All right, look. So regardless of where you are, who you are, you can use your phone to do your wealth transfer alliance. You can use your phone to take part in the $84.4 trillion transfer of wealth. Yep, your phone can set this all up. Regardless of what city you live in, regardless of who you are, what race you are, whether you're a citizen or not, whether you're in the United States or not. If you're in the United States, then you qualify for the wealth transfer alliance. There are some states that got some of the products, the health products that we have that don't work in some of those states. But what I'm talking about here is not the wealth, the health stuff. I'm talking about you being an advocate. That's what we're talking about here. I take it wrong. Right. Okay, look. How to turn your mobile phone into a $7 billion nationwide business. Your phone. Because if you got enough partners with you, your monthly income can exceed things that you can't imagine. Because everybody qualifies for what we're talking about. There's no age. 18 is the lowest age. So if a person is 18 years of age, up until the age of 118, they qualify for wealth transfer alliance. And that person becomes a partner up under the other partner, up under partner. That income is drastically good every month. Every month. Month after month after month after month. You see what I'm talking about? And we got 20 years. Lord Jesus. Okay, a couple more slides and I'm finished. My name is David Richardson. This is me, my picture. I'm a graduate of the University of Arkansas, 1967. I'm 81 years old. Money, God is my plan A, but money is my plan B. You can see me. 1 + 1 + 1 really does equal 1. If you don't understand it, then just look at this picture on the screen. The picture is worth 1,000 words. And the 1 + 1 + 1 is me. Me, myself, and I, just one person. But I'm trying to show you how to think outside of a box. You see my picture? I'm in a box. And I'm asking you to think outside of the box so you can do some of the things that you can do. Now, I am a student of the Bible, and I've written a couple of books out of the Bible, the 7 Spirits of God that you see down at the bottom, D, 7 Spirits of God that he sent forth into the whole world, and you got the 7 Spirits of God in you. You just may not know what they are and when to use them. And also the secret that God gave to the Son of Man, the instructions that God gave to the Son of Man about you and I. So all of these data is what I've been presenting in this presentation. And I'm trying to show you that the website at the bottom, I keep showing that over and over again because I want you to go and get an understanding of what Wealth Transfer Allowance, the founders are showing you. This, the founders are the ones in there. That's a phone number and it's also a website. And I've shown it 3 or 4 or 5 different times. And I'm also showing you that WTA enrollment form.com is where you go to enroll. And you should enroll, become an advocate, and be a business builder. Why? As an accountant, I can tell you, once you become a business, then you need 3 things on your income tax when you file. I don't care who you are. You need to have a lot of people. You need to have a property or properties on your tax return, business or businesses. That's what's needed, regardless of who you are in America. If you're filing a tax return, you need to have a lot of people. No, you want those people to be under age 13, because as long as there's a tax credit, that child or person get a tax credit in your house. Okay, if you don't have people, then throw them out. Do you have a rental property? Well, if you don't have a rental property, you ain't got that rental property. That's 2 things that you don't have. Do you have a business or businesses? No, if you don't have a business, so all you got is just you and your W-2. Follow me? You ain't got no rental property. If you're buying a home, yeah, you got a home. Those are deductions, your mortgage payment, your tax you pay. But the president of the United States, last term he was in there, he changed your tax situation. The limited amount you could deduct was $10,000. Well, there are some homes right now, but the real estate tax is more than $10,000, and you have tax on your employment. You add that together, that could be 20,000 or 20 plus or 30,000, but your limit is 10,000. So you're making over $100,000 and you can't deduct but 10,000 off of your real estate tax and the mortgage interest and your contributions, and that's it. Well, you can deduct the medical too, but if you were that sick, then you did. Anyway, I'm moving on to trying to show you why you do want not to pass this up. Now, this is the end of the process. I'm going to do something now that I'm going to do this for you. I really am. And me too. This is for the 2 of us. I told you God is my plan A and money is my plan B. These are my accomplishments I've accomplished over the years after graduating. And you see the time when I graduated, as you can see, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out my age. In 1944, I was born. So all I'm trying to do now is show you something that you may not have seen on any other presentations such as this. But it is going to give me time to show you this. Now I'm going to try to calm down to give you what I need to give you now for you to get an understanding. What I want to show you now is an hour, and an hour is 6 days long. It's a 6-day hour. It lasted 6 days. Looking up into his Father's face, Jesus Christ prayed, Father, that I was come to glorify your Son, that your Son may also glorify you, as you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as you have given him. And this is life eternal, that they may know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, of whom you have sent. So I've glorified you on the earth. I have finished the work for which you gave me to do. And now, O Father, glorify you me with your own self, with the glory which I had with you before the world was. So I manifested your name unto the men which you gave me out of the world. Yours they were, and you gave them me, and they've kept your word. And now they have known that all things whatsoever you have given me are of you. For I have given unto them the words which you gave me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from you, and they have believed that you did send me. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them of which you have given me, for they are mine, and all mine are thine, and all thine are mine, and I am glorified in them, and now I'm no more in the world. But these are in the world, and I come to you, Holy Father. Keep through your own name those whom you have given me, that they may be one as we are. So I was with them in the world, I kept them in your name. Those that you gave me I kept, and none of them are lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture may be fulfilled. And now come out to you, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. And I've given them your word, and the world has hated them because they're not of the world, even as I'm not of the world. And I pray not that you should take them out of the world, but that you should keep them from the evil. They are not of the world, even as I'm not of the world, and sanctify them through your truth, and your word is truth. If you have sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world, and for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they may be sanctified through the truth. And neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they may be one as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they may be one in us, and that the world may believe that you have sent me, and the glory which you gave me I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that you have sent me and have loved them as you have loved me. And Father, I will that they also whom you have given me be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory, for which you have given me, for you loved me before the foundations of the world. O righteous Father, the world has not known you, but I have known you, and these have known you, that you did send me, and I have declared unto them, your name. And I have declared unto them your name, that they may be within them, and I in them, that you may be with them, and I in, that you, my Father, may be in them, and I in them. Yes, that's the end of this presentation now. And what I'm talking about is Jesus Christ is praying to his Father for 1 hour, and the hour was 6 days. I'll tell you about that when we meet again. If you call the number, I'll still tell you about the 6-day hour. You be blessed. Get up off of it and join us. This is a revolution for you. I love you. Goodbye. Have a good day.